I'm just gonna say it. We're just gonna get it out there. This cut, it's not for me. But normally I wear like this really cute, it's like a cream satin button up, and it looks so cute with this dress. And I wear like a pair of tennis shoes and a hat and like some hoops. It's the most cute casual outfit ever. I love this dress as a concept. I think that this is called like an A-line cut. It's not for me, girl. It's not my cut. I feel very masculine in this cut. The boys have already come after me for my bald head, and that is wearing literal tank tops where you can like literally see the girls. Not that that's what all being a woman is about, but like, like the boys already come after me. This cut, I'm like, yeah, I do look like my dad. I went on vacation this weekend with my mom, and she said many times that I looked like my dad. And I was like, I always tell her, I'm like, I'm so happy that you two decided to pick one another to put your best traits forward and give me this experience. The boys asked me a while ago. I played hard to get. I didn't tell them. I said, boys, I'm not bald, hair. But here's why I shave my head. First of all, I went through a period of time where I was definitely over processing my hair. I was bleaching it. I was doing platinum card. My hair looked like shit. It looked over processed. And my boss, he said, Mariah, I don't know why you keep fighting your hair, but I think you would look good with like a low cut. And I was like, why would I shave my head? And then like 2 years went by and I went through grad school and my hair continued to look like shit, and I got tired of my hair looking like shit. So I shaved my head, and I was surprised by how like well I looked, by how amazing I looked. And do you know, not for the first time, but for the first time that actually mattered to me, my family sent me a picture of this woman. It's like a commercial. She's like this Crest hygienist, and she looked like me. And I was like, I've literally never looked at someone who looks like me before. And it was crazy. And I've been bald since. I do think I want to grow my hair out one day, but we circle back to my mother and my father's horrible traits that they decided to put forth into my experience. I have a calic right here. Literally, it is so painful to grow my hair out because of this calic. I'm bald for sensory reasons and stylish reasons, but this cut does not make me feel stylish. And maybe it is a sensory thing because my arms, they just feel so exposed. Ugh. I went to a really conservative town on vacation, and I also wore like a tank cut. I think it's called A-line. I don't know, girls. Listen, this is coming for someone who looks at 200-pound men and says like, I'm gonna get arms bigger than you, bitch. My arms, I felt so masculine. I don't know. It's like, obviously this weekend at the pool, I said, girls, look at my arms. Don't you think they're big? And my mom and my grandma said, yes, oh my gosh, they look so good. Obviously, I'm flexing like all the time. Like, obviously, I am flexing in most mirrors. Like, I am constantly, I do this a lot. I sound like I'm idolizing myself. I swear I'm not, but like, I flex a lot to be like, okay, cool. They're growing. Because for a little bit, I felt like my biceps were not growing and they were making me sad. So this is coming from someone who wants big arms. I don't know. It's not my cut. Ugh, it's not my cut. But I had to be quiet this morning, so I grabbed the easiest thing to wear, and now we're here. Okay, yap over. Why are we actually here? I have been wanting to read this book for quite some time. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Specifically, we're going to check out what this little book has to say about solitude as it relates to the law of detachment. And so I think the law of detachment is a nice place to start of identifying solitude as a space of your own where your experience is suddenly not becoming dependent on the experiences or the feedback of others. that your experience is your experience and everything else is having its own experience. And though we might influence one another, it doesn't have to, because you are in control of your perception and your interpretation of said experience, you know? Other than that, I don't know a lot about it. The sixth spiritual law of success, the law of detachment, says that the way to acquire anything in the universe is to relinquish our attachment to it. This doesn't mean we give up the intention to create our desire. We don't give up the intention, and we don't give up the desire. We give up our attachment to the outcome. The moment we combine one pointed intention with detachment to the outcome, we will have that which we desire. Anything we want can be acquired through detachment, because detachment is based on the unquestioning belief in the power of the self. The source of wealth, or of anything in the physical world, is the self, the field of pure potentiality that knows how to manifest everything. All we need to do is nurture our deepest intentions in our heart and go with the flow. Detachment comes from an inner knowingness that we are a pattern of behavior of higher intelligence. When things don't seem to go our way, we can let go of our idea of how things should be. We know that in our limited awareness, we cannot see the synchronistic, harmonious patterns of the universe of which we and our intentions are a part. Attachment, on the other hand, implies doubt and distrust in nature's intelligence and its infinite organizing power. Attachment is the melodrama of the ego because it is based on fear and insecurity, and this comes from not realizing the power of the self. Those who seek security chase it for a lifetime without ever finding it, because security can never come from material wealth alone. People say, when I have $1 million, then I'll be financially independent. Then I'll be secure. But it never happens. Attachment to money and security only creates insecurity, no matter how much money we have in the bank. Attachment to the symbols of wealth, cars, houses, banknotes, creates anxiety because the symbols are transitory. They come and go. When we exchange ourself for the symbols of ourself, we end up feeling empty inside. So as I've been reflecting on that, especially this idea of letting go of the attachment of a previous experience. So who am I in this time alone outside of someone who ended a friendship? So much of friendship to me was creating an experience together. Now I recognize that it can only be a shared moment of individual experiences. Letting go of the expectation of what a friend is supposed to be doing for me, and understanding that right now, the friends that I have or the people that I still am in communication or community with are just people that I'm getting to observe. I've really let go of harsh expectations, which would only fester resentment in the long run. When I say that I'm in solitude and when I talk about being on the back porch, I'll give a little bit more context. I don't go anywhere other than the gym. I stay home like a lot of my time. I don't go anywhere. Most of my friends that I'm still in community with don't live in my city. And the people that I am in community with locally, I see at the gym, I hang out with at the gym, and I thoroughly enjoy my time with at the gym. I don't spend a ton of time with people. And so what it has allowed me to do with all this time that I spend to myself, that's all of the little details of people's lives and stories that I've had to let go of. I would call my friends a lot. I knew a lot of personal details about my friends' lives, and I really appreciate that my friends felt comfortable enough to share with me. I said in my last episode on here, I am still the friend that will listen. I do not give advice anymore. The reason why is because when you know so much about a person's life who you have a limited relationship with because you're not doing life with that person. When you know that much about a person, you get really invested in their story. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but that is an attachment, sister. That is an attachment. As a detached approach, I'm not saying that I don't know anything about my friends, and I certainly do catch up, but I don't call my friends every single day to catch up because I don't need to know the daily ins and outs of their experience. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much information for me to know about a person unless they are going through life with me. Does that make sense? Like inner circle people, I want to know what's going on with you very frequently, okay? I want to be completely up to date. Friends, I want you to check in with me. I love that. I don't need to be kept up to date. Acquaintances, I want to experience pleasant moments with you. Solitude, okay? So we're jumping back inside the inner circle. Self, solitude. Who am I outside of all of these people? Outside of their perceptions, outside of what they reflect of me, outside of what I think of them, outside of how they influence me, as my environment. Who am I beyond all of that? Why does that matter? Because in conflict, I want to know why I said things. And in order to know why I said things, as it only relates to me, not as it was influenced by, she said, as it relates to me, why did I say this? Because I am quick to anger. Why did I, in this friendship, because I am avoidant of conflict. Why did I call my friends daily? Because at one point I used emotional labor as a transactional function of friendship. I call, you pick up the phone, we can talk about whatever we want. I don't care. I just want someone to talk to. Because I wasn't talking with myself. Because I had all these thoughts and all of these ideas running around in my mind all the time. And instead of coming on the back porch and videoing them, instead of journaling, instead of painting, instead of writing, instead of doing any of the creative endeavors that I have developed over my time in solitude, I was going to other people to reflect what I wanted them to of me as a form of attachment to myself. And then I was creating an attachment with those people by knowing their day-to-day life in a way that led me to believe that I had the wisdom or the context or the understanding or the knowledge to give them advice to help them move through their situations. And we talked about it in the last episode. It didn't work. What did work? Compassionate listening with detachment. I think this is a good stopping place. Thank you so much for listening and allowing me some space to reflect. If you made it this far, please leave me a sparkle emoji, share the baddie energy. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will reflect in the next one.